Hey everybody, welcome back to Secret Squirrel Games. I am your host, Secret Squirrel again. We are back with Crossout. It is the return of Tutorial Tuesday. Today the topic of our tutorial is going to be about factions. Alright, so, speaking of which, if you'll note up here, there is a tab that specifically says Factions. And it even has a light on it. That's because I have a product there that's ready to retrieve. Boosh, and I just did. Alright, so the way this works, and we'll get into the daily and weekly challenges and stuff after we do the tutorial, alright? But the way this works is there is a faction system within Crossout, alright? Now, you're not obligated to anything by being in a part of any of this faction system. It's not like you hitch your wagon to a particular faction and thereafter you only are allies with them and you can only do so many things. It doesn't open up only certain types of quests related to that faction to you. It doesn't. It's a faction system, but only cosmetically, only on the surface. All right, there's no game mechanic really related to the faction stuff as far as in-game mechanics, as far as the way you play, the style that you play. There's no restrictions or limitations that are imposed upon you because of the faction system. It's not that kind of faction system. It's not a strict faction system. It's not like like say World of Warcraft, where you decide whether you're making a character that's part of the Horde or part of the Alliance or whatever it is. It's not like that kind of thing. That's not the way the faction system works in Crossout. It's not very limiting. It's not very strict. There's like zero in-game mechanical difference between what faction you supposedly ally with at any given time. It doesn't. The only thing, honestly, the only things that are affected by you allying with a particular faction and making that faction your current faction is the only things that are affected by that are, I should say, the workbenches that are immediately available to you to craft on, so that if you wanted to craft goods, and when you first ally with a particular faction, the first time you make them your current faction, then you unlock a co-driver that can be that's a co-pilot in your seat, basically, with you, in your vehicle with you, who grants you bonuses to particular equipment or weapon types and things like that. And we'll go into all that in a second here. But first things first, understand that at this point in the game, and it wasn't always like this, there are these 8 factions plus this 9th one, you see, Syndicate. Because that was just introduced in the last seasonal event. Founders was introduced in the first seasonal event. Prior to that, there were just these 6 and then the engineers. And the reason I specify the engineers instead of just saying these 7, the reason I specify them and separate them out as separate is because the engineers are who you start with. They're the default, and they're always active. And what I mean by active is you always have access to their workbenches. All right. Now, as you level up with them, you gain, as you play, you gain reputation with them, which equates to experience points in any other game, basically. And once you get to level 30, you've maxed out with them, and then you start going into what they call what are these, prestige levels, elite levels? I don't remember what it is exactly. Whatever it is, it'll start getting marked here in this little set of, I don't know, olive branches or whatever they are. I don't know. And at your progress toward, first off, you can see that by hovering over them, you can see it lists what your current reputation is toward whatever the next level is, and then it even tells you, does the math for you, and tells you how many reputation points are required for the next level. And your progress visually is indicated in this diamond that goes around the outside. In addition to being what level is here, and the faction emblem in the middle, there's this yellow, this partially, or this gold, I should say, is partially going around this diamond, and you see that different diamonds I have different amounts of progress toward. This one's almost at the next level, in other words. This one's real close, things like that. This one barely started the last level, this current level, things like that. So you'll see a visual marker in addition to being able to just see the numbers by hovering over them anyway. But like I said, once you max out, which it's level 30 for engineers, it's level 15 for everybody else. Oh, well, not founders apparently, there's 16. But like nomads and scavengers, lunatics, Steppenwolves, Dawn's Children, fire starters, those are your... Well, alright, we'll start with this. You start with engineers. Once you get to, I don't know, it's 5th level, I think. Maybe 10th level with engineer. I think 5th level with engineers, but what is one of them? It's either 5th or 10th. Then you unlock the ability to then activate the nomads, the lunatics, and the scavengers. So that's basically like your next tier of faction. You unlock the ability. Now, it doesn't cost you anything to unlock them. You just select them, boom, and make them active. Now, engineers will always remain as your active faction. Other than that, unless you're in a specific season that is introducing a new faction, then you will only have one other active faction. Alright, so you're always active with engineers. Currently, I'm also active with nomads. And like if I click on it, it'll see current faction up here. Engineers, current faction. But if I went to lunatics down here, it'll say change faction, give me the option of changing to lunatics. If I clicked on that, lunatics would replace nomads because engineers is always active. Now, for example, though, why I say that depending on a season, perhaps introducing another faction, then it might be different, is because during last season, like I said, Syndicate was introduced. And in that case, engineers, Syndicate were always active the whole time during that season, and then you still picked one of the others to be your current faction. All right. Now, the differentiation, like I said, once you get to engineers to a certain level, I just don't remember if it's 5th or 10th level, whatever the case is, then it unlocks nomads, lunatics, and scavengers. You select one, and you start to... What's going on, Sasquatch? No, that's fine. No, you're all good. How are you? I'm doing well, thank you. Thanks for tuning in, man. Once you activate these factions, whichever one, then you start earning reputation with them and engineers at the same time, simultaneously, okay? So you'll start leveling up with nomads, for example, and engineers at the same time. When you unlock this faction, and I'm going to take you to the garage here for a second, there's a button down here that this is for your code driver. If you click that, you'll note there are code drivers for all the different factions. Not all of them, actually, because there's not a Syndicate code driver and there's not a Founders code driver. These are just the base ones that the game started with. All right. But engineers, you see the same symbol here. The moment you start playing the game, you unlock this guy as your code driver. But say I had selected nomads here, you see their symbol? If I come in here, the moment that I first unlocked and accessed nomads and earned any reputation with them, for example, then Perseus here becomes available to me. You can only pick one co-driver to be in your vehicle at a time, and it is not dependent on whatever your current active faction is. In fact, it has nothing to do with it. The only thing that it has to do with that at all was whether you've unlocked that faction. For example, I only recently unlocked Steppenwolves. I mean, I had unlocked it, I had not accessed it. It was available to me for a long time, but I just never, I wasn't that interested in the parts, from there yet. I just didn't go down that road. So for a long time, Hans here, who is the Steppenwolves co-driver, affiliated co-driver, was not available for me to have in my passenger seat. And that's fine. That's perfectly fine, whatever. I just wouldn't have had the access to the potential bonuses that he may give. Now, what I'm talking about for the bonuses of the co-drivers is you'll note there's 15 squares here. Remember how I said that each of those factions all cap at level 15? Well, it's the same thing with the drivers, though it's not connected with the faction. And what I mean by that is by earning reputation with, let's say, same thing. By earning reputation with the nomads, let's say, all right, with Perseus as the co-driver. Like I said, they are not connected once you, other than that initial moment that you unlock the co-driver when you also, you're available to use the co-driver when you also, the first time you make that faction your current faction. From then on, you're available to have this co-driver. But there's no restriction that says whenever you have the nomads active as your current faction that you also have to have Perseus as your co-driver and nobody else. Nope, no such restriction. You know, you can be driving and have the lunatics as your current faction and have Perseus or whatever without issue. You know, there's no restriction to it. So like I said, again, they call it a faction system, but it's not a faction system in the way many other games do it. There's no restrictions or limitations other than what, once you get past that first initial point and you unlock the co-driver, there's no other restrictions or anything like that other than restricting you to whatever workbenches that faction has available to be able to craft parts. That's all. Just means you can't craft parts from other factions, you know, besides the one that you have active, and engineers, because they're always active as a current faction. If that makes sense. Okay. So, but like I said, you'll note that there are 15 levels here. That's because when you gain experience or reputation, at the end of a mission, you'll see 3 markers, all right, 3 big icons on the screen, basically, indicating the reputation gained with the engineers, the reputation gained with whatever other faction you have as your current faction, and then your co-driver's reputation gained. And like I said, the two don't have to be linked, so you can be gaining reputation with the lunatics and gaining reputation for Perseus here, who's the nomad co-driver, at the same time. But as you do that, they level up as well. Now, there's no cost. Like here, I'll show you Hans here. Okay. So Hans is a perfect example right now. Okay. So as they level up, the outer circle, the outer ring of the circle here, is what graphically shows you progress for them leveling up as well. And it'll say right here, next level in whatever reputation points for him, and it'll say their current reputation. And you can see that says level 7, and that's because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 across, 6, 7 of these outer circles are completed. This one's not completed, therefore he does not have level 8 yet. He's not qualified for level 8 yet. You also see that the inner icon in here, first off, the inner icons, if I hover over here, it'll show what the benefit of each of these level bonuses are as you select them. So vehicle durability would be increased by 1% if I had that highlighted. Vehicle durability is increased by 1% by this one. So at 7th level, he had the opportunity to increase his vehicle durability by another 1%. At 2nd level, he already got a vehicle durability increase of 1%. Down here is the cumulative total of the bonuses that you have for that individual if you put that person in as your co-driver. So right here you see vehicle durability was increased by 1%. That was the one at 2nd level. Despite the fact that he's qualified to have 7th level, it's not highlighted inside, so there's not an additional 1%. There's no 2% here. If I selected that and selected the ones up to it, obviously, to get to that, then that would be vehicle durability increased by 2%. But you have to go in order, and this is where the issue comes in. Your first 4 levels for your co-driver are free. They cost you nothing other than earning the reputation for him. So once he gets the experience, you just come in here and you select the center part, and it gives them the benefit of whatever it is. And these, by the way, are those first 4 bonuses and benefits for this particular co-driver. However, when you get to 5th level, you'll note as I hover over it that it has a required resources cost. So down at the bottom, it would cost 900 scrap, 300 copper, and 80 coupons. All right, 80 coupons in addition to that. Now, you earn coupons by doing raids. Scrap and copper, there's lots of ways to earn those. But you have to pay that price to get 5th level, which is why you see it's grayed out. I don't have any intent right now to use Hans as my co-driver, but I will continue to get him the experience so that he'll level up. I'll keep him in my, like right now, he's got the square around him. That means he's highlighted and it says he's in cabin. Right now, I mean, I'll do that. I will gain him experience just so that when I decide to do so, I can spend the resources or whatever if I want to. If it's valuable to me to have him as my co-driver and get the applicable bonuses that he provides. For example, if I'm using cannons, he's not a bad choice. Cannon reload speed plus 1%, cannon reload speed plus 1%, cannon reload speed plus 1%. That's 3% of cannon reload speed potential. If he uses, that's a mandrake, specific weapon, he'll get an accuracy bonus. A particular cabins he'll get bonuses with. Different missile launchers. There's different bonuses. He'll have vehicle durability, and then he'll have chassis durability as well. If that fits the playstyle and the build that you have in the playstyle that you want to do, then this is a guy you probably want to level up, and then it might be worth it for you to expend the resources to actually get him at 5th, 10th, and 15th level. The 4 levels in between each of those. 4 levels, then 5th, and 4 levels, then 10th, and 4 levels, then 15th. Those other 4 levels, those are all free. Those don't have a resource cost. You just click them when they're ready. So, I could click on this if I had this already. If I paid for this, then I could click on this right now, and they would be white on the middle, and I would get those bonuses. But they're not available to me because I haven't done this one first. And I'm not willing to spend the resources on it right now because this isn't really my play style. Hans wouldn't probably be a co-driver I would use a lot, but I have no problem with leveling him up so that should I change my tune on that at some point, I can go and grab him and he'll be ready to go. There's no restriction to you switching your co-drivers. There's no time limit or anything like that. You can just switch them anytime you want. And in fact, you can even attach them to blueprints. So you have an item over here, looks like a little compass here, like somebody's architectural or whatever. That's our blueprint section. It's where you save vehicle builds, and you can attach, as you see the name, Perseus, Jade, things like that, Jade, whatever. You can attach co-drivers to particular blueprints so that the moment I pull up this blueprint, it'll automatically also switch my co-driver to be Perseus. So you can do that, and that's nice, and that way you don't have to worry about forgetting to do the right co-driver for the blueprint, when you're going to switch vehicles for a different type of build or something like that. So when you get into the faction system, like I said, it unlocks that co-driver aspect, but there's no restrictions to that co-driver aspect. They're not tied in anymore beyond that. But within the faction system, engineers, like I said, is always available. You're always gaining experience or reputation, in other words, with engineers, and you will start to unlock. You'll start with these. The white level here are common level items. The engineers are the only ones that have a white level workbench. This represents a workbench. This represents a workbench. This represents a workbench. These squares, basically, these buttons. So if I click this, it'll show all the common level items. But I get that there are a few other colored items at the bottom. These are just decor things. Well, this isn't. Legend isn't. But this is a temporary only. So these are available early on, even when you're not actually able to craft the legendary item yourself. You can get a temporary one that'll only be available for 24 hours if you are willing to spend 600 coupons of 50 scrap to do so. Then yeah, you can, whatever. And it'll show possible contents just by highlighting here, or just hovering over here, for example. Same thing with paint container. You can get random paint cans, but see, there's resource costs. Batteries, copper, electronics, and scrap to get it. And then here's all the random paints that it may give you. There's a lot of different paints in the game. So, and there are people who collect it. Like, I believe Black Belt Beavis collects a ton of those things. He's got like 200 different paints or something now. So, there's, the different options like that. Okay. Oh, I've never even looked at this decor container. Oh, yeah. Okay. All right. Interesting. Anyway, so like I said, this is the common workbench. White. All right. As you gain levels, as you gain levels with engineers, you unlock different sections of it. So like the first few of those items are available like right off the bat, and then you unlock different sections, and then as you gain more levels, you get unlocked the rare parts workbench, which is blue. And then, the first few of these, and then as you gain the next level, you might gain the next few, or the next whatever, and then eventually you get this, it says engraved shells and new relic parts. Engraved shells. Oh, craft items with engraved shells. Okay, anyway, whatever. I know that these are the engraved casings, but I guess it means to craft them with that. Use this to craft items with engraved shells and new relic parts. You're not crafting things with new relic parts. You're getting access to relic parts, which is the orange color. So the rarities are pretty standard. It's white for common, blue for rare, turquoise, which you don't see here, but you'll see it on other workbenches like this, for special. Purple are epic. See, it says epic. Orange or gold, I guess you could say, are legendary. And then this is orange, not gold, and that's for relic parts, which are beyond even legendary. So you'll see all the relic parts are available, and they're not restricted to a specific faction besides engineer. So you'll always have access to it as long as you're high enough level with the engineers, and you're always gaining reputation with engineers because they're always a current faction. And which you can also see the little check mark in the upper corner indicates that they're current, for example, as well. Now, whatever other faction you choose to have unlocked, yeah, I know, right? Whatever other faction you choose to have unlocked will also appear up here, and you'll have access to their workbenches because they are your current faction. Again, in a similar manner, you're going to level up with them as you gain reputation with them, and you're only going to gain reputation with them as long as they are your active faction. But you do not have to have their guy as your co-driver. Remember, we went over that. Then you will unlock parts of their blue workbench, the next parts of their blue workbench, then eventually you'll get some turquoise, and the turquoise, and some more of that, and then purple, and then you'll get up to their legendary parts up here that are specifically tied to their workbench. However, while you're doing this, and you have access to that, you do not have access to other workbenches that are not listed as your current faction. So if I wanted to craft this buzzsaw that's only available on the Lunatics workbenches, I cannot do it unless I change my faction to the Lunatics. And under normal circumstances, you can only change once every 24 hours. Basically what I mean by that is you can change, and then you have to wait 24 hours for the next to be able to do it again, to be able to change back. And why that's important is because when you get up to the higher level items, like the legendary items, some of these things are not all accessible by the same faction, or craftable by the same faction. Like, they'll require resources. This cost right here is just the cost of the use of the workbench. Sometimes you'll have coupons that will allow you free use of the workbench, so that's good. Here's the production time. So once I start crafting this, for example, it's not going to be available for 21 hours, and then it will be done. And then here's whatever your current amount is of any of these resources before the slash, and then the required price in resources after the slash. So 750 battery, 750 copper, 750 electronics, 100 scrap. But in addition to that, where it says crafting requires, you'll note in addition to those resources, there are items underneath that. Those things get used up. Those aren't just requirements that you have, to be able to have this. Those are requirements that it will cost you to do this. So having 2 Cheetah engines, 2 Thunderbolt shotguns, and 1 RD2 Keen radar is nice, but it's going to cost all 5 of those things, and those are all epic level items to build this Hammerfall. It's not like, oh, I have those things, so now I can craft the Hammerfall, and I'll still have those things. Nope, I'll have those things, and in place of those things, I'll have the Hammerfall. Now, like I said, what does that mean? If I went and I said craft right now, it's going to say, well, you need 1 or more pieces of Thunderbolt. Well, if I click on there, it's going to take me to the Thunderbolt crafting ability, right? Well, where is Thunderbolt? It's under Lunatics, right? Hold on. Oops. Let me go back to where I was. Thunderbolt's under Lunatics, but it's right there, under their purple one. Now, the RD2 Keen, or the Cheetah engine was also listed, for example, and the RD2 Keen. So, where are those? Well, they're not there. So, here's the RD2 Keen under Scavengers. So that means at some point, I'm going to have to change workbenches, change factions, in other words, to Scavengers, even if I have all the other ingredients in order to craft this Hammerfall. If I have this and I have this, if I want that RD2 Keen in order to craft this Hammerfall, and currently Lunatics are my active faction, well, I'm going to have to change to Scavengers for 24 hours and craft the RD2 Keen, and then 24 hours later, I can come back and craft Hammerfall. And that's assuming I have the prerequisites for the RD2 Keen. And that's the thing is, when you look at those parts that are required for that, well, then you got to think how many parts were required for each of those things. I needed 2 Thunderbolts, for example. Well, each of those Thunderbolts needed this many resources: 100 scrap, 200 wires, 150 copper, 100 plastic. Each of those Thunderbolts crafting, if I'm not, and this is all not counting buying things off the market or getting these things through like a container, a loot container type of thing or whatever. This is just counting if you grinded for the parts and you built them yourselves and you crafted them yourselves. This is how you go about doing it. And these are the costs and the time involved. Each one of those Thunderbolts would cost 6 hours, and you can only have one thing crafting on a workbench at the same time, at a time. So that's 6 hours, and then the second one would be another 6 hours, so that's 12 hours, plus 15 coins for each one, that's 30 coins. And by coins, I'm talking about these orange number right up here. And that's actual in-game money. Those are things you can actually buy on the shop. You can just buy coins packs. Here's 875 coins, it costs you $14 US, for example. So, like I said, the Thunderbolt, for example, that's what I was looking at, yes. And then in addition to those resources that you either have to have or buy, you have to either grind for those or buy off the market. Yes, there's a player-controlled market up here, and it's all supply and demand. Then you would also need one of these, and one of these that would get used up in the production of each of these Thunderbolts. And since you need 2 of these, that really means you need twice as many of these resources and 2 of these, 2 of these, and 2 of these. Okay, well, where do I find those? Oh, well, guess what? They're right here. Mace, Buzzsaw, and I think Goblin was the other thing. Well, here's what the Mace, another 2 hours, another 6 coins, more resources, and more prerequisites from the next lower tier of production. Oh, well, here's their lower tier production. Well, actually, you'll note something here. The Mace, or when you get to this level, special parts, they require 2 parts, 2 blue level parts as requirements for them, but one of them will be from this faction, and the other one will be from usually engineers. So Sledgehammer shotgun and Spitfire shotgun, like if you click on here, Sledgehammer's right here, right? But Spitfire is right here. So you have to. So those two items could be crafted at the same time because they're on different workbenches. You know, even though they're both the same level, they're both blue. You can have engineers crafting one because they're always your current faction. Therefore, your workbenches, the workbenches there are always active. And then you could still have the other one being crafted on the sledgehammer being crafted on the lunatics workbench at the same time, because they could be your active faction at that time. However, right now I can't because nomads are my active faction. So that's the way factions kind of work as far as crafting is concerned. You're unlocking workbenches. Like I said, after engineers, you unlock, once you get to a certain level, again, I still don't remember if it's 5 or 10, whatever it is, you unlock access to nomads, lunatics, and scavengers. Each one of those is tied in with one of these other three: Steppenwolves, Dawn's Children, and Firestarters. So, and again, I don't remember the link specifically, but I think, I'm pretty sure Lunatics and Firestarters are linked together. I think Scavengers and Steppenwolves and Nomads and Dawn's Children, but I'm not sure. Meaning, you unlock access to Lunatics, you then go and make Lunatics your active faction. You earn enough experience with Lunatics in order to gain 10th level. That one I am sure of, it's 10th level. You gain 10th level here, and that unlocks the ability for you then to make Firestarters your active faction. And when you do, of course, you gain access to their co-driver, and you start to level up with them and gain more access to their workbenches. Now, a couple of other things that you may have noticed or not have noticed about about each of these faction pages. In addition to the workbenches up here, and a little blurb about the faction, just some flavor, and whoever their leader is, the main character associated with that faction. In addition to all that, there's these two sections right here: vehicle blueprints and equipment. What that means, and I'm going to show you, these are just some highlights or whatever that are shown on the screen, on this screen, but if you click all, you should see all of them. When you're first level with the engineers, you only have access to like this vehicle, I think, as a free blueprint. Now, blueprints don't give you the parts, and they don't give you anything really. It's just a quick way to make a vehicle without you having to put all the pieces and parts together yourself in the garage. But they'll give you this blueprint, and then as you gain the next level or third level or something, I don't remember, you'll gain this blueprint as well, and then you'll gain this blueprint as you level up some more. So eventually there's 6 blueprints, and you'll see 6 of 6 here. They'll give you 6 blueprints until by the time you get up to maximum level or whatever, probably much earlier actually, with the engineers, because their blueprints are pretty basic. Now it'll be the same thing with nomads. They have their own set of blueprints. They have 6 blueprints that they give you, and these are all, again, pretty basic blueprints. Well, not really. I mean, when you get to some higher level guns and stuff on here. But you can always test drive anytime you want. You just hit test drive and it takes you immediately to the garage, and out you go doing your thing. This is on your test track. So anyway, so they give you blueprints. Now, where do these blueprints show up so that you can access them? Oh, what's going on, Gore? Thanks, brother. Always appreciated. Thanks, man. Where do these blueprints show up? Right here on your blueprints.
5 months, let's go.
Yeah, no kidding, right? Let's go. Ew. Is that the 5-month reward? Ew. Maybe I'm gonna have to cap people at 4 months of subscription. Anyway, blueprints right here. In addition to your saved blueprints, you'll see there are other tabs here. There are packs that you can buy, and then faction. And this will list all the faction blueprints, and it'll list what it's called, what the faction is, what its power score is, and it'll of course show you the vehicle. And these are all ones that you unlock as you gain levels with each of these factions. So the aforementioned engineers, they're at the very bottom because they were the first ones earned, you could say, whatever. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There you go. Oh, no, not even. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's only 5 of them here. I guess they're in the order they're earned. So then you got nomads, scavengers, and lunatics. In other words, so this should show you right here. I earned with engineers, as I earned the levels with engineers before I could unlock nomads, scavengers, and lunatics. I earned 5 of the engineer blueprints. And then I unlocked nomads, scavengers, and lunatics. And when I selected each of them, I immediately was given their first blueprint that was associated with each of them. And then after that, I ended up earning the 6th and final engineer vehicle. As you can see, I then had lunatics as my, whatever. And eventually I got all the way up to getting fire starters and all kinds of different, whatever it is. Anyway, the point is, the blueprints are also given to you as you level up with each of the factions. And then there's the bottom chart, or the bottom little row here. These are parts, and you get these parts for free. These are parts that will help you craft your vehicles. They have durability, so they act as armor. Now, not all of them are obviously crafting your vehicles. These are awards, I should say. A lot of them are parts. Most of them are parts. But when you first unlock engineers, you get all of that. All these first several rows. What are these? These are decor for your test track, so you can blow stuff up and test your vehicle around. This is you'll see like the guy I got up here, whatever. It's just a portrait you can attach to your name tag up there, whatever. And then you do get some crafting parts here. These are parts that you would make vehicles with. And you also got a little bit of scrap and a little bit of copper, just as a bonus. They threw that in. And when you first started the game, in other words, at first level with engineers. Then when you made second level with engineers, you get more parts. Third level with engineers, you unlocked access to one of the types of battles or adventure mode and stuff like that you can do. You increased your vehicle parts limit so that you could make slightly bigger vehicles, meaning more parts at least, bigger. And then of course you got more parts. And then at level 4 you unlocked new event modes and things like that, new battles and stuff you can get into. And then you're allowed to actually go on your test track and create buildings and objects in it and all this type of thing or whatever with the decor items that they gave you. You already had them, you just couldn't do anything with them yet. And then it gives you more decor items, and then it gives you more parts to craft vehicles. And it goes up. It keeps on doing the same thing as you level up. And then you start earning coupons for the Repair Shop of Engineers, which is blue level, you can see. So what that does is that you rent the Repair Shop of Engineers. Now, what I mean by Repair Shop is if you go here, it says Engineer Repair Shop. All it is the crafting workbench for rare parts. The different crafting workbenches for the different factions, they call them things. Instead of just saying you've unlocked the special workbench, special level workbench, for nomads, they'll call it the Nomad Kiosk. Now, they'll still put it in this color, so you'll understand that it's the special level workbench, but they'll call it the Nomad Kiosk, whereas the blue one is the Nomad Tent, things like that. And the purple one is the Nomad Headquarters. So they have names for it, and that's what you're unlocking. And you can see there are still things that are locked. There are still blueprints that are locked at 5th level, at 7th level, at 10th level. I'll be awarded those things. There are still workbench items that are locked at 5th level, 6th level, 6th level, 7th level, 8th level. I'll be able to craft these things, that kind of thing. And then it did. It froze. I hope it's just buffering and gets back to it. Maybe. But like I said, I only have one of the 6 blueprints unlocked for them at this point. I only have, the first 4 levels of parts given to me for them so far. They have other parts, that I will gain as I gain levels and such. And then, like I said, prestige level is what it's called. And for each prestige level, they'll start unlocking further parts. So, those are all the different aspects of the way the faction system works. Like I said, there's no real restriction. You can be any faction. It doesn't restrict areas of the map that you can be in. It doesn't restrict what types of missions you can take. It doesn't restrict who you can team up or ally with. It has no bearing on bots and their affiliation with you or anything like that. They're not allies with you just because it's a nomad vehicle and you're allied with the nomads at the time or anything like that. They're not automatically affiliated. You can still fight them. It doesn't matter. And they're going to fight you too. They're going to aggro on you, so unless there's a particular storyline or something like that has them specifically allied with you for the purpose of that storyline, they're not going to be allied with you in general. Any bots you see are going to be aggro, regardless of what faction you're actually allied with. The only real things that it affects, like I said, it gives you free blueprints, but whatever. I mean, that might help when you're very, very starting or whatever, level, but I never even look at them usually. It gives you free parts. Those are nice. It's always good to have more parts for you to be able to get creative with and stuff. They give you some decor and stuff for your training track. I'm not a big person on that. No big deal. They give you your access to your co-driver, and I pointed out that those are going to, their value is going to differ depending on your style of play and your build. If you've got one that's good with auto cannons and you happen to like auto cannons, then hell yeah, put that guy in your cabin with you. The faction system for, and all it really is a limitation usually on so many. And the season before it, where they gave a lot of money, the market's prices have gone up 50%, and there's a lot more exchange of wealth happening because of it, though. So there was a serious inflationary event that was sparked between the season before, giving the season that had just ended right before that event where they opened up where they did away with the 24-hour restriction. They had thrown a bunch of coins at us, basically, and between that and then doing away with the 24-hour restriction, that allowed people to burn through a lot of that money, but it also really didn't make that money disappear out of the economy, because instead all of it was transferred into goods, which then more people had more money, so all the prices of goods inflated and all this kind of stuff. It just went back and forth, and we're still stuck with a significant inflation after that. But that's fine. Whatever it is, I mean, it may be the new normal for all we know. Whatever it is. But nevertheless, that's the way the faction system works. You level up by gaining reputation with them. And that will unlock all the aspects of the set. And like I said, anytime you want to craft an item, or if you want to look at items also under this factions tab, you'll have not only this factions sub-tab here, you'll have this building sub-tab, which has the decor items, for your test track. That's what all these things are for, everything on this building. Personally, I wouldn't spend any of my resources on this stuff. A, they throw a ton of free decor stuff at you, and B, it's just your test track, whatever. I mean, you got to have a significant excess of resources for you to even consider just goofing around in here. And then the other sub-tab, technology tree. This is a useful one. This is one where you can sort, you can filter by weapon types. In the case of weapons, you can filter by hardware types and stuff like that. Here we have radars and stealth modules and generators and stuff like that. You can filter by medium wheels, light wheels, hovers, tracks, mecha legs and augers, all different movement parts and stuff here. You can filter different cabins by their rarity, or not. Try to find something in between if you want, whatever, however you want to work the market. The market's a different thing though, and that would be a different tutorial. I'm not going to bother getting into that today. Today is about the factions and the faction system, to include co-drivers, to include free blueprints, to include free parts, to include obviously the crafting benches, and how the active faction thing works and what it really even means for you. Hopefully you got something out of that. In the meantime, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and move on to gameplay. I've done another tutorial before on the challenge system, and so I'm going to go ahead and go to the challenges tab and start to do that. Gore, are you in the game right now? But I thank anybody for hanging with me and watching the tutorial system. Like I said, hopefully you got something out of it. Sinus Zero, Storm, Ampere, Repapa, Vector. I might as well make a vector then, I guess, huh? Let's go ahead and craft that then. Instead. Boom, that's the item I need for the daily challenge. I'll do the vector later. I'm not in a rush for that. So I just did one daily challenge by crafting any item on a workbench. I just crafted a car jack and that's all, because it is a prerequisite for an item that I'm going to need as I continue to craft a larger item later on down the road. I don't know if Gore is in-game and was asking to group yet or not, but alright, so cannon is the weapon du jour for missions, so I'm going to go ahead and equip that. Yeah, that's fine. And we're going to go ahead and get rid of... We will... Put that up under there. We'll grab this out of here. We will put that there. And since cannon is the thing, we're going to put cannon there. And then we'll put that there. And then we'll paint it all up real quick. I'll just paint that and that. That's good. Alright, so now we're looking at only a 2361 power score, because anybody who's watched my tutorial or ever heard me talk about daily challenges, the most efficient means of accomplishing 4 of your daily challenges within like 15 to 20 minutes, actually 5 of your daily challenges, because you're also going to complete the completing 3 daily challenges challenge, is to do 5 missions with whatever the weapon is that's listed for the day. Do those 5 missions at the lowest power score you can pretty much do them at. You know, because the vehicles are so squishy that the battles take like a minute and a half. I mean, often the queue waiting to go into the battle sometimes equals or exceeds the amount of time to actually play the battle. Sometimes the queue's a minute, 2 minutes, whatever it is, and then the battle's like a minute and a half, you know? And then you knock those out one after another, after another, after another, after another. That's all 5 of them. And then you go, okay, I'm done, and it's been like 15 to 20 minutes total, and you've already gotten 5 of your total of 9 daily challenges accomplished. So, just something to consider for anybody who might not have heard me say that before. Alright, so we're in the queue. Battle will be over in near time. And then we're going to do it again, and again, and again, and again. We're going to do it a total of 5 times, because the daily challenges that say win 2. And then, once we accomplish that one, so like I said, we're going to look on the challenges. We have 1 of 2 already, and we also got 1 of 2 of this, because win 2 battles and missions, or raids using a particular weapon, those can be done at the same time, like we're doing right now. Once we do 1 more of these, it'll accomplish both of these, and that will put us at 3 daily challenges accomplished, and that will accomplish that at the same time. Each of those 3 daily challenges are going to be followed on by another that is going to be very similar, but instead it's going to have a little bit higher reward, and it's going to say, in scrap at least, and it's going to say win 3 battles and missions, or raids using or whatever, and this is going to say complete 4 daily challenges. And instead of 20 scrap, and 15 scrap, it's going to be 55 scrap, and 100 scrap that it's going to offer as reward. When it's all said and done, and we're done with 5 of those missions, just like we just did, and we've already done 1, so once we do 4 more of those, we're going to be at the point where all that's going to be left here for daily challenges is win 1 raid, and one that says complete 4 daily challenges. But it'll already have 2 of the 4 daily challenges necessary done on it. And the win in 1 raid, when we do win in 1 raid, it will be replaced by one that says win in 2 raid. So those 2, the win 1 raid and the win in 2 raids, are the 2 remaining that will be to complete 4 daily challenges daily challenge. Additionally, as we're doing these things, well, the missions, we're gaining progress toward this weekly challenge right here that says win 8 battles and missions with scrap metal as the reward. We've got 6 right now. So when we complete the next 2, that weekly challenge will be completed and we'll get 100 engineer badges. Also, we're gaining progress toward completing 40 daily challenges in the course of a week for 400 more engineer badges. You know, we're gonna end today at 18 of 40 necessary for the week, and we're also, when we do our raids, we're gonna gain progress toward 2 different weekly challenges. We're gonna gain 3 successful progress toward a, oh man, I overshot him. There you go. Toward a daily challenge that, for hard difficulty level raids with either electronics or copper as the reward, and then we're going to gain 1 daily or progress toward 1 daily challenge progress, or not daily challenge. We're going to gain 1 progress toward a weekly challenge that says win 6 easy raids. So right now we just completed, like I said, the win 2 battles and missions. It got replaced by win 3 battles with 55 as a reward. The win 2 battles here got replaced by win 3 with 55. The complete 3 daily challenge got replaced by win 4, complete 4 with 100 scrap as a reward. And the one I'm talking about right here is we have 1 progress toward this, win 6 battles and easy raids for 100 engineer badges. And after today, we're also going to have that progress 1 more to 2 of 6. And then, like I said, it's one of these 2 will probably have 3 more toward it as well, toward 500 more engineer badges. But we only need 1 more of these, winning 8 battles and missions with scrap metal as the reward, in order to complete that and get 100 more engineer badges. So that's always good. And by engineer badges, I'm talking about these little devices right here. And I have 2,211 right now. And you can buy resources with them on this badge exchange tab. And you can also buy these little loot crates down here. And this is what I'm doing is I'm saving up for this one right here that costs 3,000 engineer badges. I'm at 2,200 right now. By the end of this week, I will be over 3,000 and I will be able to get that loot container. And that's going to be an epic level or a purple level item from the list that I could hover over and show there for free. So nothing wrong with that. And it is craftable and tradable, meaning I can use it as a prerequisite in a crafting of some other part, or I could sell it on the market for in-game coins. Either way. It's all good.
I'm gonna break you down into parts.
So 3 people broke right and are chasing the enemy over there. One of them's pretty fast. He might catch some. Ah, man, I missed.
I sent him back where he came from. That was sneaky.
There we go.
Yeah, this is victory.
There we go. Alright, so that's 1 toward the 3 that we need now, and that completed our 8 battles missions with scrap metal as the reward. So we got that 100 engineer badges, indicated as we are now at 2,311 instead of 2,211, of course. And we're 1 toward the progress here of winning 3 of these. Once those are done, we'll move on to raids, and then we'll finish up the daily challenges. We do have this to do. This is given to us each day. It's not a requirement by any means. It only rewards us with some reputation, a little bit of scrap and copper, and some shell casings. It's not a huge amount of reward. The reputation's decent. The reputation's good, which is good for leveling up your co-driver, definitely. You can go ahead and go do this or whatever. This is not available to everybody. This is only available to anybody who's finished. There is an actual storyline of quests, of missions, that is available in the game. And if you go to the battle map here, where all the different things are, this one right here, the Awakening Adventure, the blue one, that is the 8-pointed star right here. That is where the quest line is. It's a big sandbox map. It's got a bunch of side quests and stuff you can do in there, but it's also a storyline that you can follow. And once you complete the whole storyline, then every day it gives you the ability to replay a part of that storyline at a slightly more difficult level, supposedly, also, because when you do that, there is a weekly challenge also that says, while in Awakening, complete harder versions of previously completed tasks. And that gives you some engineer badges. I don't remember how many, but probably only like 100 or something. But oh, and I have not yet mentioned the unofficial drink sponsor of today's stream is Diet Dr. Pepper. Cool, crisp, refreshing Diet Dr. Pepper. Tastes more like the original than other diet drinks. I've made my own little Diet Dr. Pepper commercial, which is, like I said, is unofficial drink sponsor. I'm not actually sponsored by Dr. Pepper or Diet Dr. Pepper or whatever, or anybody for that matter. But I would be more than happy to be. So if somebody knows somebody, that'd be awesome. Even if they just send me free Dr. Pepper, I'd be like, cool, hell yeah. I would tout the deliciousness of Diet Dr. Pepper. I mean, I'm doing it already, so I would definitely do it if they decided to send me free Dr. Pepper.
You just need the right motivation.
Ah. Paul, ass white, stealing my kill.
Just one more left. Keep looking.
Let's go get him. Just one more left. Keep looking. Yes. Go. One more. Kill him. Yes. I shot him in the face with a cannon. So we only have one more of those to do, and then we'll have 2 progress toward these 4 necessary once those are done. And then the 2 that are remaining to complete those 4 would be the win in 1 raid, and then the follow-on that comes after it says win in 2 raids. So a total of 3 raids. And we're going to go ahead and knock those out as soon as we get one more of these things done. We're going to run off and do some raids. And Gore might just join us. I don't know. he was talking, and now he's not even in here. So maybe not. Maybe he won't. Yeah. Let's go. Blood. Blood for the blood god.
Attack! Let's go!
Today we get blood for the blood god. Boom! With the hit. Ah, he hit me. Oh man, I missed.
One last push!
Nope, can't let him do it. Ha 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 ha! Go screw yourself. Ah, we captured the base.
Boys, keep it up.
That was good though. That was actually pretty good. I like it. I like the way that worked out. I mean, I only got one kill out of it, but I took 3 of the enemy out of the fight. There's only 8 enemies, so I took 3 of them out so they weren't screwing with the team, and that's it. So we did our thing. Anyway, all right, so in the accomplishment of that, you'll see that our daily challenges have been reduced to only win 1 raid, and the follow-on win 2 raids, of course, and that we are 2 toward our 4 for completing 4 daily challenges as well. Additionally, well, no additional. We've gained some more progress toward completing 40 daily challenges, but that's not a big deal. We're going to go ahead and get into our raid mobile. Yeah, we are. Hell yeah, we are. We're going to double check real quick. What is in the game now as well? What started already? Work? The Moronicles at work? What has started already? Yeah, who did you talk to earlier? And he said, you. Your mom. Boom! Ah! Don't you ask me that. I called your department. Alright. I don't have a department. You look at... I have an apartment. As you look around. I work from home. There's no department here. Alright. What we're gonna do is... I would have enjoyed a your mama joke. That would have been great. Who did you talk to earlier? Your mom, boom. You'd have been like, ah. Your boss gonna review your call. Nice. Why were you asking which raids I was gonna do? What were you getting at, Gore? when you were asking which raids I was going to do. Answer me, damn it! I simply must know. Trying to convince myself to do something with you. Oh. And instead you went and took her call. Good call. Good idea. Yeah, I might lower this light a little bit. It seems like I'm a little bit washed out. I have like a 10-second delay. Ah, that sucks. That sucks. I mean, it's not as bad as it could be, but it sucks. Ah, now you're in. Now you are in. Do you have a preference between copper or electronics? I'm doing hard raids, though. For 3 hard raids. And then 1 easy raid. I'm going to blow through. You probably won't have a preference. Doesn't matter. Maybe 20 seconds. Nah, just give her. Give her? Alright. Alright. So we're gonna do copper then. Because I gotta get them done. Gotta get them done. Because what I'm gonna do, because I already got 3 toward it, and I'm gonna go ahead and progress toward that route. Boom, we'll do copper real quick and get her done. Dawn's Children, Last Convoy, Dead Highway, Hard Raid, cost 60 fuel. We have 200 fuel in the tank. So we're gonna do 3 of these at a total cost of 180 fuel. And then we'll have 20 fuel left over, which will be enough to do an easy level raid. And should be all good in the hood. Brother man, let's do it. Come on, Q. Get us there. Get us there. Make it happen. And for anybody who's tuned in since I started, which is pretty much everybody, whatever, anybody who has tuned in has been well after I started. Again, I am your host, Secret Squirrel. This is Secret Squirrel Games, like the logo right there indicates. Thank you very much for tuning in. Always appreciated. I did Tutorial Tuesday to start off my stream today, and I went through the faction system. Pretty in-depth little faction system tutorial. So if you're familiar with the game, but you're not necessarily 100% up on how the factions work, or the co-drivers, or the the workbenches and all this kind of stuff or whatever, or does it matter if you have this faction or that faction active and all this kind of stuff or whatever, that answers all that. That video, that earlier part of this video, I should say, answers all those questions. And then some. So feel free to check it out either as a VOD, a video on demand, here on twitch.tv/Secret Squirrel Games, or it will also be available on my YouTube channel starting tomorrow at Secret Squirrel Games is the name of it, and that bears the same logo that you see right there. So yeah, definitely check it out if the faction system is something you'd like to know more about.
Hey, look at that damn way.
You think you could benefit from
Good shooting, lad. Keep it up.
from a video that might teach you, then yeah, absolutely. And I'm stripping weapons like crazy. First shot. I'll take your guns. I'm your Huckleberry. Sorry. Sorry, man. Just gotta get some ammo, man. Right on over here. Oh man, this freaking guy with his rot bouncing around everywhere like he's somebody who's allowed to bounce places. There.
Keep it up, lad. Another enemy destroyed.
Oh man, I overshot him.
End of the line.
Alright. Let me get this. Come back around and pick up that. Might as well grab that. Did this dude ever get got? He got got. He got gotted. I don't like that truck anyway. Do-do-do-do-do. Bum, 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 pow! In your face! Yo. Woohoo! Let's get there, let's do it! Nobody gonna grab this? Alright, I'll grab it. Oh, everybody's just gathered over there by the gate instead of grabbing the generator. You gotta turn on the generator first before the gate will open. You should know this by now. Eat it. Eat the whole bag while you're at it. Nope.
Well done. That's right.
Oh. Oh. Oh.
One enemy down.
Nope. You don't get to talk to me like that. You don't get to talk to me like that. Who are you to me? Huh.
Well done. That's right.
We...
Let's see him try this barefoot.
I got somebody over here. Alright.
Well done. Keep up the good work. Ah, no more running for that one.
We... Alright, you got one more over there.
Well done, my boy. Here.
Yeah, I wouldn't worry about it. Wouldn't worry about it too much. What the hell are we doing? Ah! Ah! I didn't think the truck was actually in its position yet. Oh, maybe it was. Alright. Alright. No more of you. Boom. Eh. Damn. Damn. Barely missed out. Alright. Knock out another one of these thingies. Almost kept up. Nice. Very good, considering you're running half our power score. But I mean, it doesn't directly equate to that, you know? Because it doesn't mean that you would get the same, as high a score as that if we were all running 6,600 or whatever power score, for that matter. The reason I say that is because you're taking less damage because a lot of the enemies are getting killed by higher power score allies as well. So you may not last as long if you, no, if we were all running. Really? I don't think so. I think it'd be a lot easier if there were just two of us, because a lot of it has to do, a lot of the scaling of raids has to do with how many people are in the party, not the strength of the party as much. Because the strength of the enemies is already kind of built into the raid difficulty level that you choose. It's the number of enemies that gets affected by the number of people you have in your group, and that's what makes a big difference. Because even if they're weaker, you know, having a bunch of shots come at you at any given moment versus just a few, there's a huge difference, you know, in your survivability. I should probably pull my head out of my ass and start playing the game, huh? Oops. Need that ammo. Thank you. Well, I don't need. It's not like I'm short on ammo. I'm just getting below 100, so I like to make sure I have lots of ammo. Come on, man. Damn, how many rounds I gotta spend on that? Oh, we got a bunch more coming up behind us.
Destroyed the enemy. Well done.
I'm gonna assume since you're just sitting still, you probably got a phone call. I think Gore's over there getting his ass handed to him, probably. Unless he's back from his phone call.
Destroyed the enemy. Well done.
Yeah, that's what I said. You were probably on a phone call.
Get this. Hey, look at that dead weight.
There we go, done here. Me and Mrs. Jones. Ooh. Woo! Woo! I narrowly avoided everything. Any and all things. I avoided them. All of the things.
Great shot, brother.
Ah! Didn't know he was gonna back up more. Careful, he backs up a lot, dude. Yo.
Someone needs their training wheels back. Finally got you. Get this.
Here we go. We're gonna have to Excuse me if I blow up the back half of your vehicle, right? Stop it, that's hard, that's hot. It's hot. 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 It hurts, it hot. There. Now shut her down. Boom, let's get there.
Great shot, brother. I marked this one good. I got you. Get this. Great shot, brother.
I will take all of this ammo as I run around in circles. Thank you.
Keep it up. Good one.
Take this ammo. Come around to here. Boom. Eat them, man. You want to eat these retro rounds at a distance? I'll give them to you. Ooh, it's got an angle on me. Ah, he's coming for me. But he's gonna get me. Ah!
Hit him while he's down.
Boom.
That's some fine shooting, boys.
There we go. Good job, man. Hanging with them. Hanging with folks. Hanging with Mr. Cooper. That's what it's called, right? Hanging with Mr. Cooper? I think so. The old TV show. When was that? 90s? Early 90s? Late 80s? I don't even remember. Unofficial snack sponsor of the stream today. Fritos spicy jalapeno, flavored scoops. They're tasty. They tasty. Got a little bit of zing to them. It's good. So good when it touches your lips.
Contact. Someone needs their training.
There we go. My nose was itching. Ah, crap. My nose was itching. Ah. Where'd that guy go? Where did that dude go? Did they get him? They might have gotten him. No, I don't think so, though. Alright. And boom. Ah, crap, there's another one. What in the hell, man? Damn. Don't worry, we're coming. Don't worry about a thing, dude. Ooh, that dude ran right into me. And killed me. Alright. Boom.
Well done. That's right. That'll teach him. One enemy down.
Boom. Let's get in there. Alright. Coming up behind me. Oops. Oh, crap. Smoked himself. Oh, man. These shots, they be fast. Oh, yeah, he's...
Yes, I got him. Hit him while he's down.
I had to turn my ass toward him.
Should I buy a new engine with
If he had hit me one more in the cabin, I would have been done. I turned my ass toward him instead and was like, yeah, no. Nice. All right. I don't have enough fuel to continue on with that right now. And I've done all three of those. So I am going to just go on and do an easy raid now. Gore, I don't know if you want to stick around for that. If not, that's fine. That's cool. Whatever. But I'm going to go run off and do an easy level raid real quick. Just to make that progress toward the win 6 battles and easy raids for another 100 engineer badges weekly challenge. That's up to you. If not, feel free to bail. I mean, you're showing ready, so I'm doing it. If that upsets you, then so be it. Alright, the options are Terminal 45 against the Scavengers with Perimeter Breach, or at the power plant against Lunatics for the War for Fire. Yeah, which, since it's the dramatic read, that's going to be the option I'm going to choose. Whoa. Yeah, oh, WFF. I thought you were saying WTF. I misread it. I was like, what? I said I was what I was doing. Yeah. Yeah, it should be. I mean, you only have to defend, especially at easy level, I think you only have to defend it for like 3 minutes. Something like that, 3.5 maybe. Alright, so the way this worked, for anybody unfamiliar with this raid, is we kill the defenders of these 2 generators first. And then we disable the generators by going up and just, you know, staying next to them and hitting the button, the R button, basically. And then, see, like I'm disabling the generator right now. This one's gone. Once we disable the other one,
Yes, another one. He looks like he popped into a hornet's nest.
then we head back to where we started, and we will protect the truck that's there for just over 3 minutes, 3.5 minutes total.
I sent him backpacking.
Against successive waves of enemies. At the end of the timer, the truck will go mobile. We'll drive to the other end of the map. We will escort it. A couple more spawn waves will kind of happen along the way. And then once it gets to the end, it will a boss and some further spawns will be, well, spawned, obviously. Some further enemies will be spawned.
Nice one. I got him good. Immobile target.
And then that'll be it. And then the match will be over. So we've only got like 2 minutes left, 1 minute and 45 seconds to defend this place, to defend this truck.
No more running for that one. Well done. That's right.
It's not that hard. That's why it's called an easy raid, right? Minute, 10 seconds left. Right now.
Nicely done, buddy. Another enemy destroyed. Let's see him try that.
45 seconds, 40 seconds, whatever. "30 seconds. 30 seconds. "20 seconds.
I sent him backpacking. One enemy down. Great shot, brother.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And here it goes. Biddly-diddly-diddly-dee.
Nicely done,
And then when he gets up here, and when he gets to the far end, all the way to the end,
And another one.
then the boss will spawn with some more ads. There we go.
That's what I like. Well done.
Done deal. Excellent. Excellent. That uses up all 200 of our fuel for the day. We are done with the fuel. We have done the regular daily challenges. I am going to go ahead and replay this right here. Now, Gore, I'm sure you probably don't want to hang with me for that. I'm going to go replay that and do some of these side or group quest mission things or whatever in the adventure mode so I can knock those out. What power score level? You can lose at higher power score levels. But I'll come with you. I'll come with you at your power score level. What are you at? 60 something? Here, I'll just do, I guess this. I don't know. Oh, what are you at? 6331. I'll just come with rapiers. That's fine. You just said patrol, right? Oh, why am I doing that? What's going on, Fuyem? How you doing, man? How's your day going? Tuesday that it is. Gore, ready up. Yeah? Nice. It's going well. Did a tutorial for the first half of the stream. For the first 50 minutes or whatever. Did a big tutorial on the factions and stuff. It was Tutorial Tuesday. Not every Tuesday is a Tutorial Tuesday, but today was a Tutorial Tuesday. And did the whole faction system. I think it went well. Went pretty well. And now we're just knocking out. Well, we just finished up our dailies basically, and used up our fuel on raids, and now we're putzing around a little bit. I'm gonna knock out a little bit more toward the standard weekly. You know, some of the extra weekly things like the doing the 20 side or group mission, or side quests or whatever group missions in the awakening thing, or might do some wires or batteries, something like that. Nice. Just breezing through this. Oh. Whoa. Timed that one right.
Thought I was done for. Not gonna need that steering wheel no more. Capturing the base.
This vehicle stealth? It must be.
Come out, come out. Is anyone at the base?
Yeah, and they are. Now they're not. There you go.
Now that's what I like. Well done.
Nice. Did you just need... Did you need one or something like that for the scrap? For missions with scrap or something as a reward, or... I mean, you can putz around. I got no issue with putzing around. Oh, machine guns for daily, gotcha. Just the one, or do you need more?
Let's move.
I mean, have you done any others prior to, or do you need all 5 still? Or 4 more, I should say. Okay.
The enemy's right ahead. That was fast. I got him. I got him. I'm taking this base. You want to help? Blood for blood, boys. Kill, kill. Hey, look at that dead weight. I'm at the point. Capture going live. Just one more left. Keep looking.
Boom.
Mission completed.
Are you all set, or did you need more? Going with this. So I'm gonna go and do the Awakening series stuff or whatever first. So you probably don't want to hang out for that, I would imagine. I don't even need much, about 7K power score. Words. I was like, what? What's that supposed to mean? Alright. So what we're going to go ahead and do is this knock out the side hunt. Before we do that, let's make sure I have the guy in the cabin that I want to actually level up, and I do. Hans is good, or Misty's good too. Either one. We'll go with Hans right now. We'll keep Hans in the cabin. We'll go ahead and do... You don't have any vehicles above 7K, you're saying? Really? That's fine. Oh, what's up, Emily, man? How's it going, brother? How'd the rest of your stream go? You were pretty jacked up earlier, Emily. You were all amped up and stuff, doing all kinds of crazy stuff. You were all over the place. And what was your deal, Heavily? Answer. See if you can tell me on this. What was your deal earlier? You were going off about all this stuff about like how You like that, Gore? Yeah, I know, Ampex. You were going off about how the regular streamer does this and does that and whatever. And so, how was your day? And how was your stream? And what are you having for lunch? Or what? All that kind of stuff or whatever. You're just pointing out the stereotypical. Why am I driving into rocks while I'm talking? Just pointing out the stereotypical stuff. Needs to chill or get good. Yeah. See, I chill. That's what I do. I'm pretty chill. In general, generally speaking. I'm gonna knock this thing out, try to get some extra rep for my co-driver. I love it when I'm wearing the black shirt and it goes to black like that. It's just the floating neck and head thing. I'm not talking too much. You're saying normally you don't talk that much on your stream, so you were just trying to make sure that you were being more communicating more on your stream? Is that what you're trying to do? Because, I mean, normally you do talk, you're just talking to whoever you're fighting. You know, usually like, I get some here, and all this stuff. Yeah, ask this and all that kind of stuff. Doing stupid stuff. We all are, man. We all are. Absolutely. That's all I do. All I do is stupid stuff. It's the basis of my stream. It should be stupid Squirrel games. That's what it should be. And for anybody, by the way, who came in on the raid, thank you very much for joining and everything, and thanks for coming over with Heavily. Hopefully you guys had a good time over there with Heavily. I always enjoy watching him. He's a blast to me. It cracks me up every time. I just finished up our daily and some progress towards some weekly, but I'm making some progress toward weekly raids challenges right now. But I did finish up my daily challenges. The first hour of my stream today was a tutorial for anybody who might be new to the game, or be, maybe they're not that new to the game, but they just never did anything other than the standard, tune in, play some PvP, and tune back out, and that was it. Never bother with crafting or getting involved in any of the lore or learning any of that stuff. And I didn't go into the lore per se, but any of that stuff. Anybody who might not have done all that stuff before, or isn't that familiar with a lot of the other aspects of the game, like the challenges and the faction system and all that kind of stuff or whatever, if you're interested, on Tuesdays, not every Tuesday, but some Tuesdays, I do what I call a Tuesday tutorial, or Tutorial Tuesday. I think I call it Tutorial Tuesday. And I think last one I did was on the challenge system, and this one, stop it, ass wife. I'm trying to talk here. This one I did on today on the faction system. So I went through and explained for anybody who might be unfamiliar exactly with how the faction system exactly works, and what it does as far as what it means, because in some games faction means something, like in some games, well, even something as simple as World of Warcraft. Are you Alliance or are you the Horde or whatever? It restricts what areas you're going to be able to operate in. It restricts who your allies are and who your enemies are. It tells you all that stuff right off the bat. It tells you who's going to aggro against you and who's not. It limits what races you can be in World of Warcraft and all that stuff. And Crossout, they call it a faction system, but by and large, it's really not. I mean, there's no limitations or restrictions with the faction system in Crossout, other than what workbench you happen to be able to craft on any given day, and that's it. That's it. I mean, it doesn't even restrict who your co-driver can be, which doesn't really make any sense to me. I would think that if you're allied with lunatics, and lunatics are in open conflict with nomads, let's say, then why are you allowed to be allied with lunatics and have the Nomad as your co-driver. You know, it doesn't even make sense, right? But that's just to show how watered down the idea of factions is in Crossout. Want some candy? I thought the judge ordered you not to say that anymore. So, I thought you got in trouble last time. Yeah, get wretched. Hell yeah, get wretched. So anyway, that's what my tutorial was all about. Was about the faction system, how it works with the workbenches and your co-drivers and unlocking and getting free blueprints and getting free parts and how you gain reputation and, you know, what you can have as active and what you know, what it means. All that kind of stuff. That's what my tutorial today was about. And that was the first half of the stream almost today. But it was pretty comprehensive. It was pretty in-depth. I tried to cover everything about factions in that. Trying to spend your points. Might as well, right? And then gamble and see if you have more to spend. Don't forget you can gamble. You can exclamation point bet. You're not good at spending them, or not good at the gambling part, because it's not about good, it's completely random. So now if you say you're not lucky with it, I get that. There. All right, so that one's out of the way. All I'm doing is trying to knock out some more of these. One of the weekly challenges, you know, you get is to do 20 side or group quests or missions or whatever it is in the Awakening adventure mode, so that you can it doesn't do it's not doing the channel points at the end, it's doing the loyalty points, and I'm not sure if those, oh there you go, it did it. It just had a delay. Yeah, it just had a delay. Yeah, you lost them all. Every one of them. All the way across the board. All points are lost. Bow, bow. Found that rock. In case anybody was out here in the desert looking for a big desert rock, I found one. You can have it. I don't need it anymore. Yep, all... No, you had 110 points. You rolled a 23 on your bet. On your gamble. You lost 110 points. I'm not sure exactly what the target number was that you rolled a 23 and missed, but whatever it was, that's not what you wanted. Unless you were trying to get rid of your channel points, then, or your loyalty points, excuse me. It's gonna aggravate the crap out of me. Or at least there's gonna be one over here. Whoop. Whoop, whoop. That's dose. Gotta come up this here way. And get me another one right here. So there's a lot of repetition here doing these little side or group quests / missions, whatever. But hey, you knock out 20 of them. They don't really take all that long. They're just repetitive. That's all. But once you do them, it's an extra 100 engineer badges. I'll take it because that's what I'm in it for right now. That's the only reason I'm actually here doing this right now is for the engineer badges. Trying to get that Pathfinder's container. You know, get me some free purple love. Free purple love. No. See, you missed. Because I don't like you. Bow. Back it up. Let's go. Let's get this scrappy scrap right here. Or whatever it is. Trash. Is there more over here? Is there more over here? No. Alright. I need to go way up there? Okay. I'll go out there. That's not a problem. We'll race over there real quick and we'll be done with it. Blip, 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 blip. Nope. Not even anything there either. Alright. I used to do that with the miners containers, you know, when they would give those away for free to you. But the Pathfinder's containers, they're not bad. They're purples, so. And you'll get like 300 and something for the box or whatever. Now, don't get me wrong. I re-rolled once before, and I was like, oh, forget it. My luck was not with me, and that just cost me extra scrap for nothing. You know, I was not happy with that. So I did decide not to do that anymore, at least not more than once. And whether it was something I wanted or not, if it was at least over 330 or so in value, then it was good. I'm fine with it. Even if I don't want it, I can always sell it, and that's what the price I would have gotten, I think, for the box. I'm not sure what they're going for now, but at least that's what they were going for at the time that I last kind of decided on that rule for myself, essentially. But I've gotten a couple of good things. I've definitely gotten a couple of useful things at the right time that were prerequisites for legendaries that I was crafting. You know, like got a anaconda. What the hell? Oh, god, it's over. Yeah. Got an anaconda turret thing. Woohoo! And got it right when I was crafting a Retcher anyway, so that made it easy. That's not a lunatic, so that card didn't matter. You're a lunatic. That's one. Come on, it's fun. See, this is the one thing I hate, is a lot of times they don't even put the vehicles out here that you need to kill. Or they only put like 3 when you need 4. See, like I'm at 3 of 4. You want to get a couple of porcupines? Yeah, I crafted a seal, I believe. When I got my, that's how I got my first, was crafting it. I usually craft my own stuff. I'm not wanting to buy things off the market. The only things I've bought off the market specifically, other than some resources every now and then, you know, I do, if I don't want to farm those things, you gotta get them somehow, right? The only other thing that I've actually bought off the market that I had to, because I can't craft it, are the triggers. And I got a couple of those. And you had to buy them off the market. It's just the only thing you can do. Can't do anything about it if you can't craft them. It's not like there's a robust enough, you know, it's not like there's any kind of trade system in the game where, you know, I could get another player who can craft them to craft them and I could pay them or something like that. That would be interesting, but no, can't do that. So I just got to drive around a little bit here till it decides to respawn that other lunatic in that area. Because it does this all the time. Oh, you have to kill 4, so we're only going to spawn 3 in the area and then make you wait for the respawn, which may take quite some time. And then we'll give you 6 or whatever, and you're like, what the? So aggravating. Aggravations. So I'm out of the highlighted area on the map. I come back into the highlighted area of the map, and will it please respawn? What's going on, Cav? You can't hide from me, Gore. There you go. You can't hide from me, Gore. I like it. He's not here, Captain. He told me to say that, though. He said if you come by, just tell him I'm on the phone. Tell him I left. Tell him I had to get back to work. What's going on with you, Kathy? So I was playing MechWarrior 5 the other day, Sunday, and I'm realizing as I'm playing with a buddy of mine, I'm like, this is just better graphics version of the same thing, of the last BattleTech one. I mean, and it has the cockpit view option, whereas the last one didn't. It was only third person option. But I'm like, otherwise it's the exact same mechanics as far as running your mercenary company, negotiating for your contracts. It's all the exact same. But I mean, otherwise, it's just a better graphics version of it, like I said. Yeah, it's exactly like that, and that's the other thing, is it's not turn-based. But other than that, it's just a non-turn-based version with a cockpit option and better graphics. Yeah, I did forget that the other was turn-based. Yeah, I mean, that's a significant enough difference, I guess, that it's real time. But I will say this, man, trying to play co-op with that, I was getting to the point. Right. After your first mission, you've taken so much... Pam, found that truck. You've taken so much damage, and your mission only barely pays in it, and you're like... You're like, well, this sucks. You can't just drop in and out of co-op? Because I don't know about that, because my buddy was playing... What am I doing here, anyway? Oh, okay, going to the... Yeah, I was going to say you can, because he was playing, and he wasn't playing his character. He wasn't playing, like, he didn't have player character stats. He only had... He was playing one of the pilots in my... You know, on my ship. With my, group. Yeah, we didn't realize that. I thought, like, his character could come over, basically, and he would advance it, and I would advance mine, and whatever, and all that kind of stuff. Well, yeah, no, I get that, but I thought it would carry over, you know, his stats and stuff like that. Well, you didn't see us play, so I don't know about that one person equals all 3 AI ones rule. We didn't have any rhyme or reason. We were just going around and doing stuff and getting our ass handed to us. I don't care about you and your things. Yeah, it was, like I said, we would take, like, the first time we started playing it, we'd take, like, 4 million credits in damage, or $4 million credits, whatever it was, you know, in damage, and get paid, like, 250 or 300,000 or whatever for the mission. And you're like, oh my god. Oh, I didn't have any mods. We just had the DLC, you know, the Heroes of the Inner Sphere thingy with the Dropship Edition. I didn't even look to see if there were mods. Didn't even look. Ah. Yeah, like I said, I just I wasn't expecting it to be like the exact same game, just live action instead of turn-based, basically, or whatever, and then or real time, you know what I'm saying, and then have the cockpit option. I expected it to be different, like have a whole different story and all this stuff, and it might have a different story. I don't remember the exact story, but it's, I mean, I wouldn't know it. It just feels like you're playing the exact same game with just a slightly different mechanic. Yeah. I know there's a thing about, like, you're the son of the dude and whatever. I mean, obviously we saw the opening cutscenes and things like that, so the whole tutorial went through that just to make sure. Yeah, it was, I mean, it was fun. It was enjoyable. I was going to stream it, but I kept coming across this issue. Well, I just came across this issue where, for whatever reason, when it's, when you're playing the new story mission on the map in career mode, there was one that was great. Okay. For whatever reason, I would have the game up on one screen, but in my streaming software, like if there are, so like say you're looking at the map and you have the little icons, little lit up icons that you could select, in other words, or whatever. Not the star map. I'm saying, like, if you're in the, I don't know, whatever it's called, like near the hangar, there's like a control room thing or whatever, and there's like a whole map area and there's people standing there and all this kind of stuff. If you have a map and you have little lit up icons that are over the map, and I could see everything fine on the game screen, but on this through my streaming software, it was completely black screen, but those icon things were there. And as I moved around, it was like I was moving around, but all the regular background stuff, everything in the control room was blacked out, and I couldn't figure out how to fix that. So I wasn't able to stream it. It was very strange. And I looked, couldn't find anything online, at least not the few minutes I spent Googly searching it. I was like, that is extremely weird. Why is, Streamlabs not picking up the game screen? But it is picking up some of it, because it's picking up the fact, when I move, the little icons are there and they're moving and stuff as if I'm, all the same, just not actually showing that game screen. So it was very weird. Welcome everybody, by the way, to the stream. I am Secret Squirrel Games, for those who are unfamiliar, and I'm Secret Squirrel, correction. This is Secret Squirrel Games, is the channel. Yeah, I'm speaking about myself as if I'm the channel itself, but I am the channel. And I appreciate you guys tuning in. I'm doing Crossout right now. I'm just doing some of the weekly challenge right now, making some progress toward my... Yeah, hey, Zevran, how's it going? I always have it administrator, and so I've had that set as administrator for quite some time. It always runs as administrator. As far as resetting it, I closed it and reopened it. Now, if only there was an unscrew yourself button, then I would have had it do that. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna look a little. I need to look a little further into it. I just got frustrated and said, screw it. I'm not doing it. Then we're not streaming today. We're not worth it. And then I just went ahead and just said, we're just gonna play. And so we just played, and it was fine. And it was still fun, so it's okay. I don't feel bad about it. But it was alright. It was all good. Like I said, it was still fun, It would be definitely cool, I think, to have like an all-player group or whatever for the 4 mech lance. Just have 4 players all co-oping together. That'd be fun. But I'm gonna tell you right now, if I did that, I would have to go to the trouble of finding a filter, setting a filter for my microphone, so that so that it sounded more like a radio or something. I don't know, something like that. So that it sounded more like a radio, and that's way too muffled. I don't know. You get what I'm saying, though. I would add a little staticky effect or something like that to it, so that I could get some kind of a radio effect, so it sounded like we're actually, instead of just regular. That would be fun. I think that'd be a nifty little trick to do, especially if I were streaming it, and we could get it where everybody sounded like they were on radios. That'd be awesome. Radio comms. Oh, free stuff. Yeah, the urban mech looks like that. Whee! What happened there? I just went off a small bump and it turned me at 90 degrees. Goodness. It's crazy, the terrain around here. Whee! That's just me shaking my ass all over the place. Shaking my ass. What am I even selecting? What do I do? Oh, 4. We go check out 4 points. Okay, cool. Yeah, I don't know how that actually sounded to you guys. To me that just sounded muffled, but that could be. Evening, Commander. I read you 5 by 5. Where my StarCraft fans at? Doesn't sound like a radio. Sounds just muffled. Yeah, it sounds terrible. That's what I figured. To me, it sounds muffled. Oh, The voice? Yeah, the voice. Yeah, that's what I figured. Well, first off, it was a female voice in StarCraft, but secondly, yes, I said the voice probably sounded terrible. Alright, you know what? You guys want attention. There. You sure? Careful what you wish for. Oh, aren't you the wily little one? Nope. You did not get my consent to touch me. That's it. No consent, no touchy. That's how we play around here. We're playing woke out. I don't know. What would it be? I don't know that that's a very woke thing. That's just a... Maybe it is. I don't know. Some of these words don't mean the same thing. Yep, no means no. I got what you meant. I understood the point. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Here, you know what? You get some of that, and I brought some for you. See? Because I brought it up for the whole class. I share. It's the way it works. Sharing is caring. No mission here. No quest at this pole. It's fine. Dad always said I should stay off the pole anyway. Alright, I'm gonna go this other way and check for side questies. They go a lot faster if I stop trying to keep count of them, you know? If I just kind of go and do my thing. Before you know it, I'm like, oh, I only needed to do 18 and I did 23, you know? And sometimes you just like to hug a rock like that. Down, down, down. Visit these foe areas. Whee! I don't want to, oh to God. Woohoo! Alright, get it, get it! Yeah! Nope. All I did was hurt me. Damn it. I was hoping it would flip over. More often than you'd be amazed at how many times the physics of this vehicle does the complete barrel roll. I'm surprised that it stopped that far and didn't quite just go bloop. It's alright. I mean, it didn't take that long. And I just did more damage to myself than any enemy's done this whole time. Oh well. Sometimes we are our own worst enemies. Philosophy by Secret Squirrel Games. Deep Thoughts by Jack Handy. Anybody remember those? Deep Thoughts by Jack Handy? They were awesome. Used to love them. Back when Saturday Night Live was pretty good. Back when it was good. It's not so much anymore. I don't know what they're going to do now that we have a different president. The reason I say that is because no matter what your political beliefs are, political affiliation is, and I'm not trying to make it a political commentary, I am just saying that all Saturday Night Live has done, especially the last few years, is Trump jokes. That's all they had. And they weren't good ones, especially. They weren't especially good ones. But that's all they had. It's like I could just imagine the writers just coming in and sitting around the writing table, at the beginning of each week and saying, okay, so, we have this many minutes of airtime to fill. 2/3 of it has to be Trump jokes. So what do you have? Because it seemed like their creativity was definitely, if it wasn't Trump related, then they had nothing. Their jokes just weren't that great this last season, and maybe even the season before that, I would say. This group in general doesn't always impress. And don't get me wrong, I understand it's not easy work. It's very hard work, and I'll give them proper credit for that, of course. But I just don't think they're as talented a group of individuals as some of the previous iterations of Saturday Night Live have been. They've had some great comedic personalities on some of the previous iterations, definitely. And that's, I don't know, maybe nobody watches Saturday Night Live anymore, so none of you guys can comment on it. Found all that stuff, found that whole big junk pile. That could be the case too. It could be that nobody's even watching them to know better whether or not they're any good. I wouldn't be shocked if that was the case. Wouldn't be shocked at all. I gotta get back to my Kenshi stream at some point. I haven't done that in several days. Gotta see how my war is gonna progress. Because down with the United Cities, man. F the UC. See where I'm going with that? K. Get it? Get it? Get it? I could have just said that. Could have just added the K like okay at the end. Like F the UC. K. See? It's a play on letters there, I guess. I don't know. Stop it. Found that rock. In case anybody was looking for it, it's right over there. I think I'm going to be done after this one. I'm just going to go ahead and whenever I finish this one, at least. Assuming I finish this one. And I think I will. It's right over there. So this is going to be some scrap right here. And then I'll just hop on over here. Bloop. Bing. I think that's probably good. I don't know how many you guys, I don't know how many we think we got done. Let's see. What do we got? I'm 13 done. That's not bad at all. That's not bad at all. It puts me in good position. I'm 15 of 20 because I already started with 2 done. So I'm 15 of 20 for the week already. I'll just knock out another 5 on another stream. I still stream again tomorrow at noon Eastern time. Stream Crossout again, and then again at 3 p.m. Eastern time in the U.S., which is -4 UTC on Thursday and Friday. For now, though, I've used up my fuel, so I'm not doing any raids. I've done all my daily challenges already. Made some progress toward a couple of weekly challenges to include the hard raids with copper as the reward. Got 3 of those done, and some progress, obviously, like you were just seeing with the adventure mode, completing 20-sider group missions, and progress towards winning 6 battles in easy raids, and of course completing 40 daily challenges in the week. Also got some other weekly challenges accomplished in addition to the daily challenges. Got the 8 battles and missions with scrap metal as the reward. Well, I guess that's the only one that I did get done, but still did get it done. Then of course the daily challenges themselves. So we're in pretty good position right now. We ended today at 2,311 engineer badges. So toward our goal of 3,000 for Pathfinder's containers, so that's pretty good. When I finish these 50 more or 5 more side missions, excuse me, I'll have 100 more engineer badges. By the end of the week, I will get this done and this done, so that'll be 1,000 more. Plus, I'll finish this as well. That's another 100. Plus this more 400. So that's what, 1,600 right there. Plus potentially some get the wires and maybe get the batteries as well. Who knows? Maybe another 450 would put me at 2,050. That'd be a really good position starting for going into the next week for possibly another Pathfinder's container. Not too bad. Not too bad. Working on it though. We're getting there. In the meantime though, again, for anybody who's new to the game or is interested at all or whatever, the beginning half of this, or not half, I guess a third of this stream today was a tutorial on the faction system. So if you're not familiar with the faction system, that relates to this tab right here with each of the different factions and how the workbenches and the blueprints and the equipment that you get and all that, and then of course the code drivers of the different factions and all that stuff. If any of that interests you at all or whatever, feel free to go ahead and come back and look at the video on demand, the VOD on twitch.tv/Secret Squirrel Games, or you can always catch it over on YouTube starting tomorrow as well. My YouTube channel is also Secret Squirrel Games, and it bears the same logo as the one behind me. So make sure you tune in over there. If you do get anything out of it, please go ahead and do me a favor and just hit a little subscribe or a like and subscribe or something like that. All that stuff would help me out, and I appreciate that. Only Misty that is not level 15. Oh, for you? Yeah, Hans and Misty for me, I believe. Oh, and Stone Deaf too. Yeah. Oh, and Bulldog's at 13. Yeah. Yeah, for a long time I never paid attention to my co-drivers. I just had one in there that was in there. I wasn't trying to trying to actually level them or anything like that. I just kind of had them in, whatever happened kind of thing. But I started paying attention more recently a little bit, and some of them use weapons that I either don't have, or give benefits to weapons or cabins or equipment that I either don't have or aren't really my play style, so I'm not that concerned about leveling them so much. But I have taken a little bit more interest in starting to at least level them, just so that if I do want to pick up a particular weapon type or whatever that would benefit from having them as my co-driver, then I want to go ahead and have them accessible to do so. I don't know. I'm just goofing around, really. Yeah. Nice. Nice. Yeah, so that's it for my stream today, though. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. Like I did say, though, I will be doing Crossout at noon tomorrow as well, Eastern Time. That's -4 UTC. And hopefully I'll look forward to seeing you guys then. You know, I don't have anything else to do specifically hold on a second. I look forward to seeing you guys then. Oh, you know, you hear that double audio? That was me flipping over and seeing something else is going on. Let me see. You know what? I want to send you guys back over to my man. Oh, never mind. He's looking unhappy. He's looking unhappy. I don't know. But I'm going to send you guys over to my man Heavily again and let you guys hang out with him and see what's up over there. I'm going to do a little raid action back on him. So if you guys would be so kind as to hang out and go on over there and at least say hi and everything, I would definitely appreciate it. Well, even if it's just you, that's fine. I never know. My numbers of what shows how many viewers in my broadcast software and what's really there are quite often quite a bit off. I mean, sometimes I see 3 people chat in my chat room and it'll say that there's, you know, 1 person or, you know, whatever viewing, and I'm like, what the hell? So I never know. But I'm going to send you back over to Heavily. I know you were grouped up with them earlier, and Pex. I was watching the both of you guys a little bit. I was on your channel too, tuned in and everything. So, so I know you're very familiar with Heavily and everything. But if nothing else, we're going to go raid them real quick then. Cool? I hope so. Because we're going. We're doing this. We're going to do it. Much appreciated hanging out today, though. All right? Take care, and we'll talk to you later.